Bitcoin prices are going up from here. That's the spoiler. You don't have to watch the rest of the video, but in this video I'm going to show why the Wyckoffearians who think that this is a distribution pattern are completely wrong. This is a Wyckoff accumulation pattern, and we're going to see it explode to the top side. Once we get up to about $40,000, then we're going to be looking for our Wyckoff distribution pattern. That's what's up on today's video. To begin with, the assumption is that we're going up from here, so I'm starting off with a bias, you may notice. And the bias is supported by all of these shorts dropping their position over these last couple hours here today. So another bias is that we are making a 1, 2, 3 formation. We've broken out above it, we've come down and retested the number 2 point, and independently making a new tiny little 1, 2, 3 formation right here. Should that all break above this downtrend line, it matches in with my trading plan. Let's go into the weekly relative strength index. We are holding our necessary placement in order to stay in the bull run from now for the next 2 years. The weekly relative strength index will maintain this level. It'll go higher and it'll come back to it. It'll go higher, it'll come back to it. It'll go higher, it'll come back to it. It's not going to be very interesting at all, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So every time that it comes back to these levels, this is where we're going to use Bollinger Bands to look for our mean reversion buy signal that matches with a really short time frame 1, 2, 3 formation. If you don't know what the 1, 2, 3 formation is, be sure to head over to the website IntroToCryptos.ca and download that free course. I used to charge $299 for it, but now I give it away for free so that everybody joining our Discord chat starts with a higher level of education. They already have a trading plan. They already understand the 5 stages of the trade, and we can get down to practical experience, not talking about theory. So the weekly relative strength index is interesting, but what is even more interesting is to zip into the 12-hour RSI and pay attention to some of the patterns that have played out in the past. As we hit that top formation, RSI was making a top formation itself. If we're making a top formation here, as Wyckoff would suggest, then RSI should be considerably higher than it is now and ready to be topping out, rather than making a formation that is generally occurs when we hit a bottom formation. With RSI pulling back the way it is, I'm watching for a 1, 2, 3 formation right here, and should we get a 1, 2, 3 formation, then we are completing this ascending wedge or ascending triangle pattern, and we are going to blast way higher. I'm going to show you how much higher using the Bollinger Bands later in the video. Let's jump into the MACD, very close range trading. I'm seeing a very strong divergence in the MACD when we're in this short time frame. Every time we've come down to retest low, the MACD has been decidedly against it. Every time we've hit this level. And so it gets more important for me, and we reflect on what did the MACD do during the last big run up. The daily MACD crossed positive on 2 really important breakout higher. So now that our daily MACD has pulled back and is about to cross higher, as we've gone flat, I'm expecting a very much stronger move higher. So what we need to do then is to say, when is this going to cross? Here we're looking at the 12-hour, but I was mentioning the daily. It works out the same on the 2 of them, except that when I zoom in from the daily to the 12-hour, we can see that it's almost crossed positive. And when we zoom into the 4-hour, we see that it has already crossed positive, and we have our 1, 2, 3 formation setting up here. That means a buy signal for our trading plan that we teach and that we give away for free on the website. Now I'm going to go into the Bollinger Bands, and then I'm going to finish with 1 point of consternation. I'm going to give you my prediction, and then I'm going to show you what I think is a point of consternation that may prove I'm completely wrong. And I don't think so, but let's go through it. So here we are in the weekly view of the Bollinger Bands. I'm going to pull this back to the last time we had our big run up. Take a look at the Bollinger Bands, zoom right into it here. And as we zoom in, we can see how thick the Bollinger Bands were, and that they got thicker as prices move up. And then prices moved sideways as the bands thinned down. And as they got super thin, then we had, well, we already know, the big moves higher. And prices stayed above the midline in the Bollinger Bands all the way along. We can hear the live stream in the background. So what I'm anticipating is that we're going to get a bull run up similar to that, in that we have a thick Bollinger Band right now. It's going to widen as prices go higher. And prices are going to hit about the $14,500 level. And then we're going to go sideways as the Bollinger Bands narrow and we get ready for the big move. So from this period of time here, then the Bollinger Band will continue to go sideways and a whole bunch of noise and whatever. And the Bollinger Bands will widen during this period of time, and then they're going to come and they're going to narrow during this period of time. So the bands will widen, and then they're going to come down and they're going to narrow, really narrow, much more narrow than whatever this is here. Really narrow. That's when we're going to get the big blow off. And it's going to go way higher. And we'll see this will have positive divergence in our MACD, in a relative strength index. Everybody's going to be bullish as can be because it's just, I don't know. I can't see how they wouldn't be bullish. But there is one point that says I'm completely wrong. And that has kicked my ass before. That is the Ichimoku cloud. So looking at the weekly view, everything looks good. Everything's positive. We're above the cloud. The blue line's above the red, which is really important. We are not twisted green, but that's a less important indicator. And the trailing indicator is green colored and it's not cut through everything. So it's not completely bullish. When I go into the daily time frame, we can see that the blue line has crossed below the red. That is a bearish signal. And it happens at the very point of between the number 1 and the number 3 point of a 1, 2, 3 top. Between the number 1 point and the number 3 point of a 1, 2, 3 top. So this would be the 1, this would be the 2, this would be the 3. And below this level, the Ichimoku cloud is going to scream much more bearish, and so is everything going to be switching bearish, including all of the MACD, the relative strength index, and it blows a theory in my Bollinger Band theory and everything. So this is the one thing that's kicking my ass right now. And as I go into the 12-hour time frame, we can see that it is beneath the cloud. And what we need for a bullish scenario is that this blue line comes up and crosses above the red while we are making our progress here. So we're going to get really early warning. Let's go into a closer time frame. The 4-hour is giving us that first early warning. We're getting our 1, 2, 3 formation. And as that crosses and goes above, the 4-hour is giving us the earliest signs of crossing over between the 1, 2, and 3 formation, which would be bullish. And it would really match what we're seeing here and what my expectations are. So what we'll expect to see then is the 4-hour cross over, and then the 12-hour will cross positive. And as those things are happening, we'll be following it on our Discord chat. I'll be posting these pictures of this screenshot to say, here is our bullish signal. And now to finish up, the bears do have us against the ropes. Look at the 1, 2, 3 top formation. Look at the downtrend. Look how terrible things look. The Bollinger Bands are both pointing negative. We see that we're below the cloud in the 12-hour time frame. Everything looks terribly bearish, and yet I'm sticking with my bullish stance and believe that once we get above these areas, and it's going to unfold step by step. If not, then I'll know very quickly that I am wrong, and my stops will be hit, and I'll be reevaluating everything else. Now I'm going to finish with an announcement of another video. It's a 3-minute long video that is taking care of everything to do with the altcoins right now. We've gone through our June bull market watch spreadsheet and pulled out some really important data. We've gone through I've gone through our June bull market watch spreadsheet, and I've pulled out some really important data from this group of neutral coins to see which coins were in hold status for a long time throughout the bull market run in May, and which coins were in a hold stance through the bull market run in February that are now in neutral stance. Those are the most likely altcoins to be taking off. If Bitcoin is taking off and silver and gold is taking off, and I am correct in the bullish stance, then those neutral coins are going to be the hot ticket items that are going to be taking off the most. And that video is available right now up above me here somewhere. You can click on it and check that video out. Thank you for being here right to the end. I am super stoked to have you along, but even more excited to have you take this $299 course. Learn everything that I did to make $500,000 in 2017. Put that to use for you and come to our Discord chat to ask all the questions you want. I want your success. That's it for today's episode. We'll see you on the inside. Bye for now.